What if the most sensitive war plans of a global superpower could be accidentally exposed with a single wrong tap on a smartphone? On March 15, 2025, as American bombs fell on Houthi targets across Yemen, one man already knew exactly what was coming. Not because he was a military commander or intelligence operative, but because he was a journalist who had been mistakenly added to a high-level government chat group. This catastrophic security breach has sent shockwaves through Washington and beyond, revealing not just classified military information, but a fundamental vulnerability at the heart of modern statecraft. On March 11th, Jeffrey Goldberg received an unexpected connection request on Signal from an account appearing to be Michael Waltz, President Trump's national security advisor. Goldberg accepted, thinking it might be legitimate outreach from a senior official, though he remained skeptical. 2 days later, Goldberg was suddenly added to a group chat labeled Houthi PC, small group PC, likely referring to Principals Committee, the highest-level national security decision-making body in the US government. The chat included what appeared to be accounts belonging to Vice President J.D. Vance, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, CIA Director John Ratcliffe, and Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, among others, essentially the entire national security leadership of the United States. On March 14th, these officials began actively discussing plans to strike Houthi targets in Yemen. The next day, at 11:44 a.m. Eastern Time, Defense Secretary Hegseth shared what Goldberg described as precise operational details, including weapons packages, targets, and timing for the imminent strike. Just 2 hours later, bombs began falling on Sana'a, the Yemeni capital. The White House has since confirmed the authenticity of this chat group, stating they are reviewing how an inadvertent number was added to the chain. This admission only deepens questions about operational security at the highest levels of government. Cybersecurity and national security experts have reacted with disbelief to this breach. Larry Pfeiffer, a 32-year intelligence community veteran who worked at the CIA, NSA, and White House, called the administration's actions inexcusable, noting that secure government communications are available to top officials 24/7, home or office, on the road or in the air. The implications are severe. Pentagon regulations explicitly prohibit using messaging apps like Signal for classified information. As former CIA officer Kevin Carroll noted, if these people were junior uniformed personnel, they would be court-martialed for similar actions. Beyond the obvious dangers of exposing military plans, using Signal with disappearing messages may violate federal record-keeping laws. Most critically, had the journalist been someone with malicious intent, or had officials' phones been compromised, America's adversaries could have gained advance warning of military action, potentially endangering US forces and undermining strategic objectives. This incident highlights a troubling contradiction. While everyday government employees face strict protocols for handling classified information, those at the highest levels appear to operate under different standards, conducting sensitive business on commercial platforms outside secure government networks. Lost amid Washington's political firestorm is the impact on Yemen itself. According to the Houthi-operated Yemeni Health Ministry, at least 53 people were killed in the March 15th strikes. These casualties add to the enormous toll of Yemen's civil war, which has created one of the world's worst humanitarian crises. Regional analysts from the Gulf states view the US strikes as necessary, but question their effectiveness without a broader strategy. Saudi commentators have privately expressed frustration that America's internal security failures might ultimately benefit Iran, which backs the Houthis, but maintains plausible deniability. Iranian media has seized on the security breach as evidence of American incompetence, with Tehran's state-aligned outlets portraying the incident as further proof that US power is waning. Meanwhile, shipping companies remain skeptical that military action alone will secure Red Sea routes without addressing the underlying regional conflicts. The signal breach has thus not only exposed military plans, but has handed a propaganda victory to America's adversaries while further complicating an already delicate regional security balance. Perhaps the most revealing aspect of this breach isn't the technical security failure, but the policy discussions it exposed. The private chat shows Vice President Vance expressing reluctance about the operation because it primarily benefits European allies, writing, "Vice President Vance, VO, I just hate bailing Europe out again." Defense Secretary Hegseth agreed, calling European freeloading Defense Secretary Hegseth, VO, pathetic, while another official, believed to be Stephen Miller, insisted that if the US successfully restored freedom of navigation, Stephen Miller, VO, there needs to be some further economic gain extracted in return. These candid exchanges reveal a fundamental tension in America's approach to allies. While publicly committed to securing global shipping lanes as an international good privately, top officials view the operation through a transactional lens, seeking direct compensation from beneficiaries of US military action. European officials, now aware of these private sentiments, have been notably quiet in their response. Off the record, diplomats from several EU nations told Omni that the administration's attitude makes future security cooperation more difficult, even as they remain dependent on American military capabilities to secure vital shipping lanes. This is not the first time senior US officials have faced scrutiny for handling sensitive information outside secure government channels. The most notable parallel is Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server while Secretary of State, which became a central issue in the 2016 presidential campaign. The irony is striking. Many current officials, including Marco Rubio, were vocal critics of Clinton's private server practices. Yet here they are, conducting sensitive national security business on a commercial app rather than secure government systems, potentially an even more serious breach given the imminent military action being discussed. What makes this case distinct is the immediacy of the potential harm. While investigations of Clinton's emails found classified information had been improperly handled, there was no evidence of planning active military operations on her private server, nor that hostile actors had accessed the information. The signal breach potentially exposed real-time war plans hours before bombs fell. This pattern suggests a troubling cultural problem within America's national security establishment. Convenience often trumps security protocols, even at the highest levels of government. The ramifications of this breach will likely extend far beyond this single incident. Former defense officials predict several consequences. First, expect a comprehensive review of how senior officials communicate about sensitive operations. This may include new restrictions on personal devices and mandatory security training, even for cabinet-level officials. Second, America's adversaries have been handed a playbook. They now understand that high-level officials routinely use commercial apps for sensitive discussions, making these platforms prime targets for sophisticated hacking operations. Third, the breach damages trust with allies. Foreign intelligence services may become reluctant to share sensitive information if they believe US officials cannot maintain basic operational security. Most concerning, the incident reveals how dependent modern statecraft has become on digital communications that blend personal and professional boundaries. The convenience of smartphones has created a dangerous vulnerability at the highest levels of government, one that adversaries will certainly exploit. The Yemen Operation Signal breach represents a perfect storm of security failures, high-level officials bypassing secure channels, discussing war plans on commercial platforms, and accidentally including an outsider in the conversation. While the specific military operation appears to have succeeded, the security failure exposes deeper vulnerabilities in how modern governments function. At Omni, we believe understanding these vulnerabilities is essential for national security professionals worldwide. The era of strict information compartmentalization is giving way to a more fluid digital environment, where the line between secure and insecure is increasingly blurred. For those working in defense, intelligence, or diplomacy, this incident serves as a stark reminder. Digital convenience comes with profound security costs. The most sophisticated security systems can be undone by a single, careless tap on a smartphone screen. For in-depth analysis of global security challenges that mainstream sources miss, subscribe to Omni. Our team of former intelligence professionals and regional experts provides the context and insights you need to understand today's complex threat landscape. Our community question: what protocols does your organization have in place to prevent similar breaches? And are senior leaders exempt from these rules? Share your thoughts in the comments below. This is Omni, bringing you the global perspective others miss. Until next time.